Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing really well. Drop a comment down below and let me know, how are you feeling? How's life been treating you? Are you ready for this holiday season? We are gonna have so much fun. We've got a lot of stuff to do, lots of goodies to make, lots of time in the kitchen as usual. Now, today, I've got a lot of stuff I wanna show you guys. We're gonna be making some fermented raisin water, and I use that to make sourdough starter. Now, many of you know I killed my sourdough starter about 6 months ago or so. After the baby was born and summer came along and I stopped baking, my sourdough starter died. So I had to make more. Also, what I'm going to be doing is making sauerkraut and fermented cranberries, all of those things I want to show you guys how to make today so that you can make those. I'm also going to link the recipes up above. You'll see them pop up here and down below in the description box. Because I'm just going to kind of give you quick blurbs of those, but I have full tutorials or full recipes on my channel in my fall and holiday recipes playlist, so go check those out. There's also a lot of dairy-free recipes in my dairy-free playlist and on the fall and holiday recipe playlist. So if there's someone in your life that is dairy-free and you needed a dessert or you need some kind of food item to feed them over the holidays or substitutions, whatever, I've got those on my channel. Today I'm going to be making a chicken pot pie, and I'm going to make the crust with half butter, half pig lard, because I'm trying to reintroduce butter into my diet and see how well the baby tolerates it. So this is going to be my first experiment. I've been dairy free for the better part of how old is he? He's almost 8 months old, so for 8 months. And I just want to try it out. I want to see what happens. So I'm going to experiment. I'm going to do half lard, half butter, because I'm not sure if I can do a pie crust with all lard. I think I can. I'm using our pig's lard that I rendered down from pig fat. You guys can check that out if you're interested in that. But right now what I want to do is just get all of this ready, get everything assembled, show you guys how I do it, and then the video is going to go in to show you guys some of the other things that I've already prepared that are back here. We've got our sauerkraut, and then in the cabinet we have our honey fermented cranberries going for our honey fermented cranberry sauce. And these are just easy things that I like to have ready for the holidays. I also like to have all my bread pre-baked and frozen so that I can just grab it out of the oven for whatever holiday event that we are going to. But if you want to know how to make sourdough, check out my sourdough playlist. It tells you everything: how to make a starter, how to make your sourdough, how to bake your bread, how to bulk batch bake 6 loaves at once, and all of that good stuff. All the different things that you can do with sourdough, from sourdough English muffins. And I'm gonna come up with some more recipes. It's just, life is crazy with 5 kids, and I haven't been as organized as I would like, because my head is focused on 6 different people that are outside of my body. That's my husband and my 5 kids. And this channel, unfortunately, is not in a priority, and I try and I want it to be, but family first, and then I try to vlog as much as I can and share as much as I can with you guys. My hope and my dream is to do a lot more of that, and the holidays is a perfect time to do that because there's just so much going on. Also, I wanted to share with you guys too, Aaron learned or is learning how to duck hunt. So I'm going to put in a little clip of him returning from duck hunting. In addition to that, he is also deer hunting right now. It is deer season. Him and Riker have been out deer hunting, so I'm going to include some clips of that. In this video, you're going to see how I make duck jerky, and it didn't last long. It lasted 1 day in this house. 1 day. The kids devoured it. They devoured it for breakfast one morning, basically, and it was a lot. It was a Tupperware container full. So duck jerky's gone. Got to get Aaron back out there hunting for more duck. When he's hunted, he's gone with his friends, and they've killed a surplus of ducks and sent him home with some meat. So it's just been really awesome, and we are so grateful to you guys for helping us put meat on the table and teaching Aaron a new skill so that he can help continue to provide our family with good, nutritious, wild meat. So yeah, another skill that Aaron's learning how to do that I'm really excited about. Right now he is bow hunting with Riker. So this morning they went out and, hey Hagen, is the deer shed in here? Okay. They took the deer shed back out hunting because they're gonna use it to clank and try to draw in a buck. And he took that, but it was really cool. They found the shed. You guys are gonna see that story later on in this video. But yeah, just lots of good stuff. I hope you guys enjoy watching. Please give this video a like, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. What are some of your favorite holiday recipes? What would you like to see me share with you this holiday season on my channel? Whatever I come up with, I'll share with you guys, and then whatever suggestions you guys have down below, leave them for me because I'd love to share those things with you. Talking with my hands a lot today. It's because I'm baby free. I'm always holding him, and that has been causing me some issues, some pain issues. I have back injury, and I've been having like some severe back issues. Like I can't put all my weight on my left leg at this time in my life very well without having, for an extended amount of time, without having like seizing pain. Oh yes, and you guys are probably wondering what that beauty mark is. My lovely son gouged my face out earlier this week with his little dagger claws. He's been doing like fish hooking our mouths and fish hooking our noses and our ears and stuff. You know how babies do. You hold them and they just like grab your face, and I guess that's why we do it back to them. We're like, so cute. But yeah, so that happened, and what else? I don't know, but let's get to this. This is what we're gonna do. We are gonna make chicken pot pie tonight. Okay, this recipe calls for 2.5 cups of flour. So the only kind of flour that I have in this house is white bread flour. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dump that in there. Hopefully it's not too much protein in it. It calls for all-purpose flour, but I don't have all-purpose flour. You guys, you notice I'm all bundled up. Winter hit us last night. Woke up and it was frosty, and that's 2.5 cups, right? They want 2.5, and here I am putting in way too much. So 2.5 cups. Hopefully this makes enough pie. And then it says we need a couple of tablespoons. So I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of sugar. So 1 teaspoon salt, and I'm using pink sea salt, and then 2 tablespoons sugar. Now everything is starting to 1, 2. Okay, and then how much lard are we gonna do? So we're just going to get this kind of going right now, this way. Ugh. Is this not the right way? There we go. And we are gonna dump, gonna pulse that. We gotta throw in some of this lard. How much lard? 1/2 cup, okay. Half a cup of lard. Okay. Thank you. All right, we're gonna add the rest of this butter real quick. All right, and then we start adding tablespoons of ice water and pulsing it. So I probably need some more ice in here. Because it just wasn't quite cold enough. I didn't think. So we'll go 1, 2. No ice. They said no ice. Oh, you're getting ice. That was 3. 6. We'll just do 6 and a little more because these weren't even full, these last couple. But I think it's starting to hold together. All right, you guys, so now that it's starting to hold together, I might have to add a little bit more flour to that actually. It's smelling very pig lardish, which is fine because it's gonna be a, why isn't this thing wanting to lock? Okay, so I'm gonna take this out and divide it into 2 because what I want to do is make 2 pie crusts. So I'm going to divide it into 2 as best as I can. And we're not going to work it too much because when you work pie crust too much, it becomes, and I might have already done that in the food processor. So hopefully I didn't jack it up too much. It looks like it might have too much in it. Okay, make it into 2 crusts. Then I'm going to kind of pat it out into these 2 shapes, and then I'm going to wrap them and stick them in the refrigerator. So that I can roll them out in just a minute. And one's a little bit thicker because I want that to be my bottom one. Was not prepared for this. There is one. Stick this in the refrigerator. Okay. 1. And 2. Okay, these are gonna go in the fridge. All right, here we go. We're gonna make the filling for the not pumpkin pie, chicken pot pie, and I'll just throw up what I'm throwing in here. I mean, it's pretty basic. I mostly just make a roux with, well, let me back up. I make mirepoix, which is your onions, your carrots, your celery, finely diced, and I throw those in there, and then I'm gonna take some organic vegetables and throw those in there. But with the mirepoix, what I'm gonna do is add a lot of fat, so I'm gonna be using my pig lard again, and then I'm going to saute everything in that, throw some flour in there, get that cooking, and then I'm gonna add chicken broth to that, and the chicken broth is going to make a thick sauce with the flour and with the fat, and that is gonna be like a roux, and that is gonna go inside of our chicken pot pie. And then we're going to, you know, do all the things. I'm not sure what shape I'm gonna do. Am I gonna do round? Am I gonna do square? Last time I made a chicken pot pie, I did it in our big square casserole dish, and I doubled the recipe for the pie crust, and I probably should have done that this time. And I'm also afraid that I over mixed the pie crust in the food processor, so I might be making a whole nother pie crust. Thankfully I have time. It's not the end of the day. It's 3 o'clock, so I have time if I've made a mistake to go ahead and do that again, make the pie crust all over again. But I'm gonna get this started so that this can simmer away while the pie crust is cooking. So I'm gonna put this on a time lapse for you guys so you can watch me do my magic. You guys, those onions are killing me. I usually wear motocross goggles, but I don't know what I've done with my motocross goggles. Anyways, they're killing me. It's gonna be all right though. I've heard if you have a bottle of Thieves, if you have a bottle of Thieves open, that helps. Burning a candle helps. I don't have time for that. Okay, so we're just going to add some salt to this, some flour. Oops, I lost my scoop, so I'm just going to go like this. Stir that around. The point is to get the flour cooked up a little bit so that it's not tasting like raw flour, you know. So we just let that sit there for just a second. I've got my little guy back here. He's crawling around on the floor, being super cute. I'll grab two of these. I've got a whole bunch of broth from the last few days. I've been canning broth again. This is like the second or third time that I've done this. And so I'm just getting all of the broth and everything canned up that I can every single time that I cook meat. So. All right, so now we're ready to add some broth to this. Let it thicken up really good, and then we'll add some chicken to it. The chicken's already cooked. That's why I have broth, is because I cooked a giant chicken and then made bone broth with it and all that kind of stuff. So we've got that going right now. You also want to grind up a whole bunch of pepper in here, and I like to use fresh ground pepper. And I saw on Acre Homestead, I just love watching her. She makes so much food and she grows so much food, and she grinds her pepper in a in a coffee grinder, and has a big old jar of it, and she just adds pepper by the tablespoons to her. So she would take like a heaping tablespoon and add a whole tablespoon to this chicken pot pie, or a whole tablespoon to macaroni and cheese, and I just think it's insanity, but it's awesome. I love it. I mean, like, not insanity in a bad way, because I really like her channel. It's just, it's a lot of pepper, but I think I'm gonna start doing that because everybody loves pepper. Put a little bit extra in here. I'm probably gonna keep adding broth to it as it thickens until it gets to the thickness that I want. And I also need to add all of these in here. Most of them. Might do all of them, because I can always turn this into chicken soup tomorrow if I have some left over, you know? Whatever filling does not fit in a chicken pot pie can then be turned into soup. Get this a little bit more broth in there. This is the delicious meat broth I made. All right, now I'm gonna cut up some chicken and get this in there and start getting all of this cooking. And this is the chicken that we got from, it's probably better if I shred it, but this is chicken that we had gotten from a farm at the farmer's market, and I just placed an order. What's wrong? And got all these beautiful chickens. I got 10. They were really expensive, but totally worth it, because each chicken has made us quite a few meals. This is the third meal that we are eating with this. Plus, it's provided us with a ton of bone broth. So just really nice to be able to get this delicious farm-raised, pastured chicken locally from somebody. And they said they had 17 chickens left if I wanted more, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to get some more before they run out for the rest of the season, because they aren't gonna have any till next year again. All right, so I shred it, and then I just give it a quick once through chop. I got a baby at my feet, so I gotta get this added in quick. Where did my spoon go? Oh, down into my pie filling. So I'm gonna put this on slow cook so that it's not burning. Sometimes the saute feature is a little bit too much. Okay, I'm just finishing up this last bit of chicken. He's borderline entertained almost long enough for me to get this done. All right, everything's cooking nicely. I just decided real quickly that I would add some potatoes to this just to bulk it up, so I'm gonna peel them. Growing up, I had siblings that liked chunky mashed potatoes with the skins on. That's how we typically made them. We just smashed them up with milk and butter, and with the skins and everything on after they were boiled, and that's just how we had them. I do them that way too, I think. I don't know. I don't really ever make mashed potatoes. And I make smashed potatoes for the kids. And smashed potatoes are just baked potatoes in the Instant Pot, smashed with butter and salt and pepper, cheese on top. And we call them smashed potatoes. So we make those a lot. And then I make fried potatoes in the skillet on the stove, and then I also make French fries and sweet potatoes. So that's the potato situation in our home anyways. I should have put these in sooner so that they could cook. I know potatoes tend to cook faster, but I don't know that they're gonna cook. I'm trying to dice them up really tiny, but hopefully they cook. I'll dice them up smaller. Just to kind of bulk this up a little bit. Try to get in as much food as I can with our big family. At first I was like, oh, this will be plenty. And then I started looking at it more and I thought, I think I added potatoes to my last pie. I don't even know if I have vlogged the last pie that I made, but it was fantastic. Hagen asked for pumpkin, or I keep calling it pumpkin pie. Hagen asked for chicken pot pie for her birthday, so we definitely did that for her birthday dinner. Hey friends, if you're having a good time in the kitchen with me today, be sure that you click that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all my latest uploads. Thank you so much for watching. So I am going to do an egg water wash on this real quickly. Annika, no ma'am.
Now what? Then I watch, Mama.
Yeah, just hold on. I gotta find, do you know where the brush is that goes?
What brush?
Remember that wood-handled brush that Mommy had? That
What brush?
oh, I really hope I didn't even do something silly with it, like throw it away. It's a brush that I can, it's like a big oversized paintbrush. Oh, here it is. We found it. All right, watch out. You gotta stand over there, out of the way. Over there. So I'm using one of the eggs from my neighbors. You need to back up because I'm opening this, okay? That's the rule. You listen to Mom. You can watch it. Alright, that's the egg. I am baking this chicken pot pie in the oven at 350 degrees, probably for 25 minutes, I'd say, give or take. I never looked at the time and I didn't do a timer, but I'll comment right here what the internet recommends. I mean, you can Google it. You can Google any recipe. I'm kind of just going off of when it looks done. And it's starting to look that way. I turned it up to 425 for just a few minutes and it started to burn. It started to turn brown really fast and I was like, oh, too much, because the recipe I was looking at said 425 for 20 minutes. Well, apparently this pie likes 350, much better. So we're gonna go with that. Friends, I just quickly covered the edges that were getting a little bit too brown with some foil. Back in there to bake some more. One more thing I wanted to let you all in on about. Over there on Instagram, Rouse_rising or at Rouse_rising. I'll put it across the screen. You guys can join me over there. I am doing a clean kitchen sink challenge where every night for 30 days, I'm going to bed with a clean kitchen sink and a clean kitchen. It's just a great way to restart my morning every single day, and I think a lot of people can benefit from doing this. I typically always go to bed with a clean kitchen, but I've been slacking lately and I wanted to get myself back on track, so that's why I'm doing it. It's hashtag clean kitchen sink challenge. I'm not so sure I should have added sugar to a savory pie crust, but alas, afterthoughts. Watch out, they'll come running through here. I'm taking out the pie pie. Just let it rest there for a minute or what? Looks good. I think I'm just gonna let it rest for a little bit. Alas. This is just a really simple pie, you guys. It's not a lot to it. There's your basic ingredients: a mirepoix, a chicken stock, flour, you know, all that good stuff. Chicken pot pie. Chicken pot pie.
Big ass buck on it. Damn big on
The crust is amazing. It turned out really good, even with 2 tablespoons of sugar in it. I'm going to be making a fermented raisin water to make my new sourdough starter with. It's one of the quickest ways to do that. And the first thing you have to do is put your raisins in some hot water to remove any of the preservative oils that they have been coated in. You just want to soak them for about 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes, we're going to strain these raisins out and we're going to add them to some fresh water in a clean jar. And to that jar, we're also going to add just a little bit of sugar, anywhere between 4 and 10 grams sugar. It doesn't need a whole lot, just enough to sweeten the water. After that, we're going to add the cleansed raisins to the jar, and then we're going to secure the jar with a watertight seal, and we're going to shake the jar up. We're going to be shaking this jar twice a day, every day for the next 5 days or so until it's carbonated and bubbly. We want to make sure too that we're burping the jar every day once it starts the fermentation process so that the gases don't build up and the jar explodes. This is day 4 of the raisin sourdough starter, and notice that all the raisins are floating even after I shook them up. And prior to shaking them up, they were nice and bubbly, and you can see there's already a lot of bubbles coming out of the raisins again. And that's what's keeping them afloat. So we are going to strain these out and throw them in some, maybe we'll throw them back in the bread that we're making, but we are gonna make the starter or the leaven right now, and then we will make some bread. We are going to make some sourdough crackers with our sourdough discard. You need 1 cup sourdough discard, 1 cup flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of some kind of dried herbs. I'm using Italian. You need 4 tablespoons of some kind of fat. I'm using butter. You can use coconut oil or lard. And then we're going to give this a good mix. In a second, I'm going to mix it up with my hands, just enough to get the ingredients nicely incorporated. I give it just a few folds, and then I'm going to pat it out into these squares. These squares are going to go into the refrigerator once they're covered, and once they're cooled off, I'm going to be able to roll this out very, very thin. Once this is rolled super thin, we're going to brush it with some olive oil, and I'm just using some EVOO and spreading it on there nice and thin. You can put as much or as little as you want. I'm sprinkling on top this chunky salt. It's like a flake. Yeah, sea salt flakes, there you go. Then we're gonna slice it and prick it with a fork to keep it from bubbling up. Bake at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes.
I don't know how long it
On this particular day, I had a lot of things I wanted to do in the kitchen, so we started the morning with some fresh French toast. It's really yummy. And on this day, I am also going to be working my sourdough, so you're going to see a few clips as we go along of the process of me making sourdough. If you're interested in learning how to make sourdough, I have a whole playlist on my channel that you can refer to, and I give step-by-step instructions. This is a simple stretch and fold that I'm going to do, and there are 6 of these within 2.5 hours. You do it every 30 minutes, and after that you do your final shaping and all of that, but you're going to see that coming up here in a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to show you guys how I like to make French toast. I'm going to get my skillet really hot, and we're going to throw some lard in there. And once that's nice and hot, we are going to work on mixing up our ingredients for French toast. And this time of year, I like to use pumpkin spice in everything, so we're going to do that. This is the smallest loaf of the batch, but I figure I would just pack into it and show you guys the crumb. There you go. Voila. I like a mixture of half wheat, half white. This is all white, and the reason why I don't like using all white is because you get much bigger holes. Even though I try to pound the dough out and I try to pound the holes down, I still get a large fermenting hole pattern. When I use half wheat, the holes are more uniform and smaller, and jelly and stuff and butter doesn't fall through.
He got a hen mallard. No? Daddy got the snow goose.
Woo!
He got a hen mallard too.
I didn't
Beautiful.
shoot these.
You didn't shoot the snow goose?
Clint. Will you bring me a cutting board?
Okay, so right here what I have is a whole bunch of duck breasts from when Aaron went duck hunting. His buddies shot a bunch of ducks and he brought home some meat. We breasted them out and then we put them in some marinade. So what I did was about 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. I did a couple glugs of Worcestershire, a couple glugs of soy sauce. We also added some garlic and some onion, garlic powder and onion powder. That's really all that we did. We kept it pretty basic. I'm thinking I should have put some other herbs on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick all of these onto this dehydrator and dehydrate it, and then I'm gonna show you guys and let you know what our final verdict is. Do we like the duck meat venison, or do we like the duck meat jerky? Get our delicious raw milk. We get 4 half gallons or 2 full gallons, I guess. The big mason jars. Yeah, 2 gallons. We're gonna get some more this week and we're gonna freeze some of it because around Thanksgiving she said she's not gonna have milk. So we're gonna get some extra today. It's $6 for a jar. Well worth it. And the kids love drinking it. So anything for them, it's worth it. Whole foods, good foods, unpasteurized, raw milk, good. So we're back from our farmer's haul and neighbor haul. Our neighbor gets eggs from their chickens too. So they gave us 4 or 5 dozen eggs in there. We've got 2 dozens in the refrigerator already from the farm we went to where we got our milk. And then we got 2.5 gallons of milk, or 6 half-gallon jars of milk. So I'm gonna go put all this away in the fridge. I'll show you guys what it looks like. This is the cream on top. Quite a bit of cream we mix in there, nice and cold. Yeah, good stuff. Grass-fed cows, delicious yellow cream, so good. See, so many things are happening. Daddy's gonna go get us a new washer, ours broke. And I think the fan is breaking, the light is flickering. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions what this might be. This is the finished up duck jerky. It turned out really good. I think next time we'll just add more seasoning, more flavor, more spices to it because it's a little bit bland, but we did the brown sugar and garlic and onion powder and Worcestershire soy sauce. But definitely could have used a little bit more flavor. The kids are eating it, so it's yummy. But that's another thing that I managed to get done today. This week and every week, I cook a whole chicken. This bonus chicken came with 2 necks, so we're throwing everything into a stock pot with some bay leaves, some black peppercorn, and some garlic cloves, and this is going to provide us many, many meals this week. All my dried oranges. I'm going to be using these for garlands and different decorating things, maybe some potpourri. But yeah, I'm going to get some more oranges next time I go and dehydrate some more because they're pretty. And I want to make a nice tree garland, and I don't know that this is going to be enough. But it's shelf stable now. I'm going to pop it on the shelf. To make honey fermented cranberries, you start with clean, fresh cranberries and you prick them with a fork. Next, you put them in a nice sterile jar and you're going to cover them with honey. Once they are covered with honey, you press them down with a clean weighted object, and then you wait till Thanksgiving. At Thanksgiving time, you're going to blend this up and it's going to be a delicious fermented cranberry sauce.